Welcome to the Anxiety Coaches Podcast, a relaxing and informative show where we explore anxiety, panic, and PTSD, sharing how you can overcome them for life.
Aloha! Welcome back to the Anxiety Coaches Podcast. I'm your host and coach, Gina Ryan, and I am so happy to be with you again today as together we can consider the many ways to bring your mind and body back to its natural peace and calm. In today's episode, I want to talk about 4 easy additions for better sleep and less anxiety. I have for you 2 supplements and 2 essential oils, but I want to start with the supplements first. They're both easy to find, they're easy to use, and they're relatively safe, and you may even be using one or both of these already. But for those of you who are unfamiliar with these easy to get your hands on supplements, these are a great place for you to start. The first one that I have is magnesium, and magnesium works an interesting way in many of our biological processes, but helping you with anxiety and sleep is top on that list. And it helps to convert the 5-HT into the precursor to melatonin, which is also known as 5-HTP. Now, you know, many people take the 5-HTP for sleep. Many people take the melatonin for sleep. And so I'm taking it back a whole nother step. You can start with the more basic element, which is magnesium, just a very basic mineral. And there are many, many different forms of this mineral that you can get and use, but the most absorbable forms of the magnesium to be taken orally are the magnesium citrate, magnesium glycinate, magnesium taurate, and magnesium aspartate. Those are easy to find and absorbable. And I want to talk to you a little bit about the dosage that you'll be wanting to use. Generally, magnesium you'd want to take in a range from 200 to 500 milligrams to get started. Because as a word of caution, if you take more than, say, 1,500 milligrams per day, most people may find that they have reached their bowel tolerance, and some people will at that point have loose stools. So it's really important for you to experiment prior to a high dose like that so that you can find where your own gut tolerance is on that. If you're new to taking magnesium as a supplement, start at the lowest dose. And I highly suggest following the directions on the bottle for the lowest dose, because I don't know exactly what form you're taking and the like. So do follow the directions on the bottle. And, you know, magnesium is pretty bulky mineral-wise, and so the pills get pretty big, so that it usually comes in lower doses, such as around 200 milligrams. And so you can start with 200 milligrams and just add a little bit more, like another 200 milligrams the next day, and see how your gut is doing with that. You'll get pretty immediate effects. As a matter of fact, many people use the magnesium. If they are constipated, they take it at night, and it helps them to have an easier time in the morning. So you can also use it in that way, but if you take too much, it really has a laxative effect. So start small and build up. But if that kind of makes you a little like, well, I don't know if I want to mess with that, I want to give you another way that you can take the magnesium, which would be the magnesium in the pico form, the pico ionic form. And in that way, you will have no problem with your gut and bowel tolerance. So you could try that. It's easy to find nowadays. It used to be hard to get your hands on, but now it's pretty much everywhere. So you could look for that pico ionic form. And again, take it as directed on the bottle, because they all have different strengths. And One more way that you can get your magnesium, and the most relaxing way that you can get your magnesium, is to use it in your bath. Now, you can take it in your full bath, a bathtub, or you could simply take a foot bath. If you are not in the mood to get in a full bath, or you don't have a tub, you can take a magnesium foot bath. And those magnesium salts, you could use Epsom salts or any other magnesium salts to help you absorb the magnesium transdermally. It will come up through your skin, and in that way you will have no trouble with your gut or any bowel issues at all. And it would also help you to relax. Just having your feet soaking. Can you just imagine how nice that would feel? Or your whole body immersed in a nice, warm Epsom salt bath. I think just the hot bath alone can be helpful if you were doing that a little bit, or maybe 2 or 3 hours before you go to bed. Not right before you go to bed, because you don't want your body to be heated up from the hot water as you're going to bed. You want to be in a cooling manner as you're trying to fall asleep. So either take a cooler, maybe a more tepid bath, maybe lukewarm, or a cool bath with magnesium salts, or just take your bath a couple of hours before you plan to hit the sack. Now on to the second supplement that I have for you, which is L-theanine. This is a great supplement. It's an amino acid, and it is really easy to find these days. Again, some of these things were harder to locate in the past, but it's quite popular now, and so I'd love for you to try it. It's also found in the green tea. It's in the green tea leaves, but you know how I feel about green tea, especially if you were wanting to be going to sleep at night. You don't want to be drinking the green tea because it does contain caffeine. And for many, that would be not only anxiety producing, but keeping them awake when they are trying to sleep. So you can take this L-theanine. Besides having it in the green tea, you can take it as a supplement. And that's how I am suggesting you give it a try. One of the nice ways that you can remember the L-theanine is it's also known as the sunshine supplement, or sunshine in a bottle. It is, again, an amino acid, and it can significantly reduce your stress and increase relaxation. Now, it does this without causing drowsiness. Now, you might be wondering, well, why would I be suggesting that for sleep then? Because many people that I work with are already very tired. They are ready to go to sleep, and they're actually exhausted, but they can't relax their body enough to fall asleep. So this is where I find that the L-theanine can be helpful for sleep. And it doesn't cause drowsiness, so if you needed to take it during the day for relaxation, let's say, or that kind of feeling of like letting it go, just letting it go, you could take the L-theanine in the daytime. That would be awesome. Research has suggested that the L-theanine crosses the blood-brain barrier in about 30 minutes, and it improves mental relaxation without the loss of being alert by actually working directly on the central nervous system. Once it crosses the blood-brain barrier, it reduces sympathetic nervous system activity. And remember, the sympathetic nervous system side of our nervous system is our fight or flight side. That's where our stress is. And so what it's doing is it reduces that sympathetic nervous system's activity. It also lowers blood pressure, and it reduces cortisol levels and anxiety overall. And I recommend starting with doses of about 100 to 200 milligrams. I think it's a great addition. Again, you will want to follow the bottle's suggestions because it may have something else in it. So take it as directed, but look for that amount of the L-theanine, 100 to 200 milligrams. It's great to take at bedtime to help get that whole body relaxation. You may already be tired, you may even be exhausted, but the body just will not relax and go to sleep. So you can also use it during the day because it doesn't cause drowsiness. Again, this will help you to feel more relaxed, and you can do it without having to drink the green tea and be taking in the caffeine. So get the L-theanine, that sunshine feeling effect, and enjoy some relaxation. I hope you'll give it a try. And now back to our oils that are going to give us a little bit more easeful sleep and less anxiety. So we usually think of using our sight or our hearing as our most precious senses, but what we smell actually has the strongest impact on our emotions. The olfactory receptors in our brain connect directly to the limbic system where our emotions begin. That may be why essential oils, which are actually the distilled essence of various plants and flowers, that is probably why these essential oils are so potent. So there are all types of essential oils, and there are combinations and singles, and I'm going to talk to you today about 2 single oils. And with all the unique impacts on the body and the mind, they are extremely concentrated. And I want to tell you how concentrated, how much flour that you need to make an oil by giving you the example of lavender. It takes 220 pounds of lavender flowers to produce a single pound of lavender oil. People use essential oils for all kinds of things. Some essential oils boost our energy while others relieve pain. They kill germs. Some reduce stress and anxiety, and some soothe the skin. There are many uses. It is truly a way to get some medicine going for yourself by using essential oils. So since we are all kind of stressed a little bit more these days, and some of us have been, leaning toward more anxious feelings anyway, or difficulty sleeping. So I want to talk to you about 2 oils that will really help out here. The first one is going to be a familiar one to you, lavender oil, but I can't talk highly enough about it. Lavender oil will not only help you fall asleep, studies have actually shown that it also improves the quality of your sleep. So even for people with insomnia, they have good results by using the lavender oil. This very precious oil can increase the amount of deep, slow wave rest that a person gets. Lavender oil has the added benefits of relieving anxiety, reducing stress and depression, all of which are related to sleeping difficulties. Physiologically, lavender oil also lowers your blood pressure, your heart rate too, and it relaxes you. As your blood pressure comes down, you relax also. So they did a study, it was in Turkey. It was called Stop and Smell the Lavender to Reduce Anxiety. And this study, I'll link it for you in the show notes if you're interested in reading things like that. But here's what they did. They just took essential oil and they wanted to check aromatherapy. And it had been suggested that it would reduce stress and anxiety by affecting parts of the brain that deal with emotions. And in this randomized controlled trial of 80 women in a hospital in Turkey, they inhaled the lavender oil aromas before surgery. Now, why did they pick surgery? Because most people are anxious and stressed before surgery. Researchers evaluated the effect of the treatment on anxiety, and the results showed that the participants who inhaled lavender oil aromas prior to the surgery experienced decreased anxiety levels compared to the control. I think that's pretty awesome, and I hope you'll take that to heart, because if you get the right lavender that you really enjoy, because there's a lot of different ones out there, you will feel it too, that total relaxation, and let it help you get into that deeper sleep. The second oil I have for you is bergamot oil. Bergamot is a citrus fruit, and it grows in the tropics and in the warmer climates, I guess, in Europe too. And it's a hybrid. It's a hybrid of orange and lemon. And bergamot oil is really super fantastic for calming. It also lowers the heart rate. It too lowers blood pressure, and it reduces anxiety. Many people say it puts them right to sleep. Now, I want to talk just to you really quickly about how to use these oils. It's great to just put them in an oil diffuser, which will disperse the molecules of the essential oil out into the air. You could also put them in a spray bottle with some water and shake it up and just spray it around your environment. And if you're going to put it on your body, I highly suggest that any oils that you use a carrier oil such as an almond oil, a light oil that you can mix it with, because some of the oils are strong enough that they would maybe irritate the sensitive skin. So do be careful with that and check with yourself to see how you can do. But feel free to use a carrier oil, like I said, like an almond oil or avocado oil, anything like that. And of course, you can use it in the bathtub. And one of my favorite ways to put some in the bathtub or into your foot soak, if you are using your magnesium that way, is to add it in with some Castile soap. And that would be like using a Dr. Bronner's. So you might get a Dr. Bronner's lavender and put a little bit more lavender in it for the essential oil to really smell delicious. And you could also put some on a cotton handkerchief and keep that near your pillow when you are going to bed at night. So when you're experimenting, just pay attention to how they make you feel and try them one at a time so you can see which one is really having the best effects on you. I hope this has been helpful for you and that you will actually give these items a try. They're easy to find, they're not expensive, and they can really give you a boost in reducing your anxiety and getting you into a deeper sleep. And now for today's quote. A well-spent day brings happy sleep. And that's from Leonardo da Vinci. I'll be back in a few more days with another podcast. Until then, be well and aloha.
Thanks so much for joining us for today's episode of the Anxiety Coaches Podcast. Find more information at theanxietycoachespodcast.com.